Hey there. This will be a formation tactic review of a possession-based 4-2-3-1. I've been really enjoying these tactics a lot. They're the most fun I've had this year, and I was able to get up to rank 1 with them. So obviously they are competitive enough. Somebody else has taken rank 1 from me now, so I'm at rank 2 currently, but obviously point being you can do well with them. And the reason I'm enjoying them the most of anything else I've tried is their direct passing is normally more powerful. It's not the best to get explosive type players involved. So if you're trying to use players more like the ones I have here, Diaby, Neymar, Xavi Simons, who was on a marksman, so he was controlled for most of the clips you'll see. But obviously 5'6" in his body type, so almost as close to explosive as you can get as a controlled type. It's the most success I've been able to have getting those players involved. So here are the tactics here: 45 for width, depth 65, defensive style balance, like pretty much everyone has. But the play on balance, chance creation, possession here, this is the main part. 42 for width and 8 for players in the box. So actually I would put comes across the sweeper keeper on. I just didn't have it, forgot to do that. But stay back, conservative, and overlap on both fullbacks. I have an attacking version where they're unbalanced, so if you're kind of losing later in the game, you can't get them involved, and because it's possession, they don't overcommit quite as much as they normally would. But for the main formation, stay back is a little bit more effective. When you have them unbalanced, sometimes it'll make the opposition track, like opposition players have more players track back, so it's actually harder to break them down. Even though you have more players, the opposition gets way more compact and way deeper on the field. CDMs here are going to be completely unbalanced for both. Cams are all going to be default except for get into the box for cross. And striker and stay central get in behind. I've messed with false 9 and it was fun, but it's definitely not good enough to win most of the games. Balanced can work, but it seems like getting behind is just the most effective. It's still possession, so they're still going to drop deeper a little bit for you sometimes, but just to force a little bit more movement out of the players. The types of players you want to use, again, let me go back to that screen actually. Types of players, again, the purpose of this is getting the explosive players in. So you still can use controlled. Obviously, if you've got your Mbappe's or Rafael Leao's, they're going to be just fine. But normally, if you have those players, the best thing to do is one of the 4-3-2-1s, direct passing, your default, 1 on stay back, 1 on overlap, balanced. If you have those players and you want the best out of them, direct passing is still going to be the best way to go. It's just if you're trying to use a little bit more creative players, if you want to rely a little bit more on passing or a little more on dribbling rather than just kind of your through ball, forcing the ball forward meta, this is the best way I've found to get those players involved. So let's get into the clips now. So getting into the clips here, obviously a little more on the types of players. So of course, Messi and Neymar, really high quality attacking AI. Going to be really important to have. Diaby is a little bit more average. I think kind of standard wide player. He doesn't cut in as much, but you'll see a lot of Messi, a lot of movement, especially out of Messi. And then for some reason, Xavi Simons works better for me than it seems like anybody else. He just seems particularly aggressive. Maybe it is his aggression stat is 99. But as a cam on possession, you wouldn't expect as much movement out of the players as you get. But you'll see them, like, just how kind of quickly they'll even just kind of get forward. It still almost feels like direct passing at times. It's just that you have more options. They'll come short a little bit more. They'll do kind of a push-pull. They'll move up the field and try that getting behind. But if it's not working, they don't just kind of linger around the center backs like it feels like they can on direct passing. They'll actually come short and give you an option, which will create space for somebody else to run into the space they leave behind, like they vacate when they drop back. And then obviously you see with a player like Messi there, really effective to get on the wing. We're lucky with the bounce, of course. But you can see how he gets wide and then will just come all the way in field. And it's just really good at getting the players in those really effective positions. You want them central. That's where all your goals come from. So this one here, probably my favorite goal I've scored this year, maybe in any FIFA, because it's only reliant on ground pass. You can see I'm just using the X button, not anything else. And watch the movement here. You can just see the players getting all over the pitch. Both CDMs involved, both wingers involved. Diaby's now moved out wide, just kind of occupying space, not doing much, but everybody else is just around the field, kind of buzzing around up and down. Everyone's accomplishing something there. And I'm going to play a little more of that clip again. So you can watch is like the left cam has moved to central cam. The center cam has gone to striker. Striker's still a striker. Messi's all the way wide. And both CDMs are just available, and then Diaby moves all the way wide. Torgan's pushing in front of him. Neymar comes short to play central cam. Messi is now at striker. Xavi Simons moves back into the space. He's buzzing around. Neymar had pushed forward, comes short and then pushed all the way forward, and that drags him out of position. And then Xavi moves back into that space, and then Messi, having cut all the way in the field, almost at left cam at a point. Not quite that far, but still more like a left forward. Just moved all the way in field and then pushes into that space. Depay pushing forward, it's such an amazing goal, and you can only get that on this tactic. If it was direct passing, they'd push forward, but they wouldn't come short in the same way. You just wouldn't have as many options. Again, if you want to use just kind of your controlled players, I don't think this formation is going to be as effective because they're not going to be as good in the tight spaces. That's what really is the advantage of all these players here. Is you're trying to use their qualities as best you can. You can still do your through balls like you see with this one. It's not like those options aren't available to you. It's just that there are more options overall. You've got a bigger toolkit. The thing, again, with direct passing that I used pretty much for the whole year, I used a 4-2-3-1 with direct passing, and obviously it worked well enough for me to keep using it. But now I really want to get these higher quality players we've got at the end of the game involved. And direct passing is it's really effective at the 1 or 2 types of goals you can score. It's just that there are 4 or 5 types of goals I can score with a different tactic. And you see just how effective all these players are in tight spaces. Just kind of 1 or 2 dribbles and then passing it off. Buzzing around, moving players out of position. Just that quick little touch. Just to create a passing angle, and then somebody's there. Somebody's moving it, like Neymar pushing forward there. Create space back here for Xavi. Obviously some decent dribbling there and a nice finesse. Again, Diaby coming all the way short. He's completely central now. Lucky there with the bounce, but then Diaby's still just so involved. Lucky here with the bounce again. But it's just, everyone's there. Everyone's pushed forward into really high quality attacking positions in the box. The other thing with the 4-2-3-1 is the white cams are effective, and you need width in this game to advance the ball down the field. Like here, what being wide is accomplishing is making the opponent have to push back, which means my players can push forward more and I can get more involved. So the wide cams are still just as good here for, as you see with Diaby, just advancing the ball down the field enough. But then at times you'll see them actually push in, again, almost less like wide cams and more like a left forward and right forward. They just get so much more involved here than I've seen with any other formation this year. I've tried a bunch of things, I haven't done any of the 5 or really any of the 3-backs. I tried a 3-5-2 for a bit. But I've done just about every 4-back you can think of. Any of the 4-3-3s, the 4-1-4-1, 4-3-1-2. Even some of the not super meta ones. I really want to get the false 9 to work because that's my favorite formation in real life. But just the idea of a false 9 would be, again, just this really kind of intricate play, getting everyone involved. And again, you can just see on the clips here how effective that is. So at the end, I've just got a bunch of clips of just kind of highlights. So I'm going to leave the commentary here, and these are just some kind of montage-y type goals, I guess. Either dribbling or just really silly finishes. Or showcasing how silly this game is and how it doesn't understand what rewarding gameplay should be. So you can still score just kind of your standard through balls or your jammy goals or long shots and all that. It's just you've got this more kind of intricate build-up passing play that I'm just really trying to showcase here. It's been super enjoyable. So if this looks like kind of the style you want to play, then I definitely think these tactics are for you. If not, if you want to keep using the controlled or lengthy players, then I don't think this is going to be something that's that effective, which is totally fine. You can use whatever players you want, but I was just kind of really upset trying to use all the explosive players in a tactic that was built for controlled players, I think. So this has been what's really let a player like Neymar get unlocked, as you can see in all the clips. So again, if you end up trying these out and they work for you, or if they don't work for you, feel free to leave a comment. I'd be curious, because I don't really see anyone else playing like this, and I definitely think the game would be a bit more fun if just less reliant on through balls. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.
Short corner favoured. Neymar. Diaby. De Ligt. Surely. And this time it's in. But he's gone short with it. Messi. Marquinhos. Can he finish? A goal! Oh, showing excellent vision. It's going to be Neymar. And a goal! De Bruyne now. Superb defensive judgment to end the attack. Promising sequence. In it goes! That one. Diaby. And Depay on the ball. Oh, that's a pass of high quality. A glorious chance. There it is. And short it is. Neymar. De Ligt. Oh, beating his opponent with ease. There it is!
The keeper can't believe his luck. That's a really poor effort.
Diaby. Marquinhos. Opportunity. Oh, it's in!
Well, what a save that is. He was so alert there.
That's a well-struck pass. Oh, what a goal! That's a well-struck pass.